Good morning, everyone. Morning, Richie B. Have yourself a wonderful day. Audley morning, have yourself a wonderful day. Also, want to say a special morning to everyone joining us on the bridge, been joining us on the bridge, and of course, joining us right now on Untangle on the Bridge 99 FM. Good morning. Morning, Untangle team. Have a wonderful day. We plan to. Morning team. Big and serious morning. And at approximately 15 minutes after 12 o'clock, right here on the bridge, we're going to have a conversation with a gentleman by the name of Dr. Romario Simpson. And I describe him as a nation builder because it's obvious he's a nation builder. And he's also a volunteer. He's also a medical doctor, Bachelor of Surgery degree he has. Now, at the age of 26, Dr. Simpson was appointed Justice of the Peace, and I think he is actually one of the youngest in the parish of St Andrew and indeed Jamaica. So we're going to be finding out from him about his foundation, and I have some other questions for him as it relates to what's happening here in JA. So what I hope to be an interesting conversation happens on the bridge this afternoon at approximately 15 minutes after 12 o'clock. All right? Yeah, man, a long time them a tell we say, so you think, so you are. So a man thinketh, so is he or she. So we have to start clean up with thoughts. It is now 14 minutes after 12 o'clock, and it is now time for us to join Dr. Romario Simpson. And want to say welcome, Dr. Simpson.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the program. Afternoon to your listeners as well.
You're most welcome. Okay, so there you have a lot of accolades, and you know I will mention them from time to time. But let us start first of all. You're a Meadowbrook High School past student, head boy 2013 to 2014. Left straight to the University of the West Indies, where you are now a doctor, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right. When throughout this journey did volunteerism begin for you?
Okay, so volunteerism began from an early stage. My parents inculcated in me that, you must always try to help others. Don't take life for granted. So from a very tender age, I've been helping out with minimal stuff. And then in high school, thereabout, I started to do like projects with like the Octagon Club, and I enjoyed making a difference in the community. And then that passion just grew forward. And I now have my own foundation. I partner with a lot of established NGOs and governmental organizations. And for me, volunteerism serves as a way of holistic development. I say that it serves as a positive distraction for me from the hustle and bustle of my regular life in terms of a medical doctor, because it can be stressful, but I get pleasure and joy from helping others.
Okay. All right. So it seems as though your parents are perhaps your greatest inspiration.
Yes, that's fair to say.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so you have given over 10 years service through your foundation. Tell us a little bit about your foundation and how you have gotten that chance to give.
Right. So my foundation, the Destiny of Hope Foundation of Jamaica, I launched it in 2017, January actually. So this year, the month end will be our 5th anniversary. The foundation, our mantra is empowerment through diversity and volunteerism. We focus on 3 main thematic areas. One is poverty alleviation and homelessness. And under that branch, we have partnered with several agencies to stem homelessness and do street feeding, inclusive of the Kingston and St Andrew Municipal Corporation, Open Arms Development Center off Windward Road. Another branch is our disabilities and health aspect. And under that branch, we have worked with the Jamaican Council for Persons with Disabilities, the Combined Disabilities Association, the Sickle Cell Association, as well as Jamaica AIDS Support for Life. And then the third branch is our climate change and environmental protection. That one is more of an advocacy. We haven't done anything hard or tangible there, but we're hoping to change that soon, where we are going to branch off into aquaponics
Okay. All right. So you've been doing a lot of work with other NGOs and of course many other interactions of you've just described some of them: homelessness, environmental protection, and that kind of thing. A lot of people are doing, or I shouldn't say a lot of people, many people are doing what you are doing, but yet still there is still homelessness. The street people seem to be growing in numbers. And my question to you would be, as someone who has been doing this for the past 10 years and have liaison with other NGOs, where is the disconnect?
I think the disconnect is in terms of our policies. We have to take a serious look at the governmental aspect in making cost of living affordable for Jamaicans. I also think we have to be targeted in the job opportunities because there are jobs out there. In the logistic field, there's a shortage in it. And so I think that what the government needs to do is take a look and see where the needs and desires are and target these areas. Secondly, I think we also need a mindset change. I find it strange that when we go overseas, we do jobs that we look down on here in Jamaica. Now, I understand the US dollar or the Canadian dollar is stronger, but we have to have that mindset change that once you're doing good and honest living and making a contribution to society, that you will make it out at the end of the day. Also need a lot more collaboration between our various entities so that we can have a greater impact in alleviating poverty, homelessness.
Okay, I hear you. So it's really a collaboration with the various entities, a mindset change,
A
and
policy framework.
yes, and
Right.
jobs, because there a lot of people,
Right.
yeah, a lot of people have no job. All right. So we're talking about all these involvements and, as I said, interactions that you and others have been doing. And it has, of course, educated you about a lot that happens with people on the streets, particularly young people. The greatest issue that we face here now, issue of concern, is crime. In addressing this social ill, what if you were asked to address this social ill based on all the experiences and the interactions that you've had with the various NGOs? What would your first move be?
All right. So for me, my first move is definitely training, and not just training in terms of technical skills. You can easily train someone, but if you don't provide them with the tools to continue after training, then it's an activity done in futility. So for me, this is where I mentioned like the aquaponics. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and Jamaica can tap into that. And that's something that I am helping with others to bring on stream for exportation. So that's one aspect. Another aspect is we need to learn good emotional intelligence. I mean,
Yes.
even I can get upset, but it shouldn't be to the point where if someone does something you don't like, then your automatic modus operandi is to hurt that person or their family. We have to develop an emotional intelligence and let it, that when they say it goes off the duck's back, make whatever the issue is be like that. And so we just need to be more cognizant, more loving, emotional intelligence, and know how to handle our conflicts, our anger, and our rage in a better way.
I agree with you. My only problem or issue is who is going to teach this emotional intelligence, because our parents, or many parents who are our first teachers, haven't got a clue about what you just said a while ago. And they are the ones who children really listen to and observe and pattern. So
Right.
the question is, I mean, all the kindness and the wonderful things, I mean, we have to start asking some serious questions now, because I think we've been having these discussions with so many people for so many years. And are we really asking these hard questions? Where will the emotional intelligence, where will that lesson come from?
It has to start within the home. The family is the basic unit of society. So even interpersonal relationship between mom and dad, do not argue in front of the children. Do not do practice domestic violence, whether it's male to female or female to male, although the male on female is more prominent. So things like that the children will see and think that that is normal. So it starts in the home, learn how to control their anger, talk to the person respectfully, Also, churches help. I mean, I'm not here to push. I'm a Christian, but I'm not here to push my beliefs on anyone. But there is biblical aspect when you train up a child in a church, they will learn some of these emotional skills. They'll learn about love. Learn about turning a blind eye. So that's also important as well.
I hear you, and I agree with you. But the issue, though, Dr. Simpson, is that a lot of the people who are not emotionally intelligent are not the people who are actually causing the problems that we have today. So we really need to be targeting those people who don't have any way of understanding what you just said. Anyway, let's move on. I am very worried because I talk to people like you. I know you're out there in the field. I know you're doing work. I talk to others who are, have their foundations and all of these things. And then we're talking about crime. And the Prime Minister, right, Dr. Chang, is quoted as saying that we have spent some over $380 billion on social intervention nationally, and there is nothing to show. And it seems as though the National Security Minister seems like he's frustrated and is now throwing up his hands and suggesting that all of this money has been wasted. Do you think it is a waste of money to spend on social interventions like what you are engaged in, as a way of helping to reduce crime? And if you think it is, why?
I actually don't think it is. I think it's important. It might not have reached everyone, but I know for sure if it's even one person that such an intervention has helped to turn them away from crime and gang activity and criminality. So there's an important aspect in the social funding. What you need to do is be more targeted. So, like, for example, in the lots of scamming, and you have to take the profitability out of crime, but then you have to find a way where if you're going to show them an alternative that you go to traditional, you go to school, you get your education, then you have to make it easier where that when that person graduates with a degree, that there's a job there, that they can have a suitable means of living. So I think that's where we need to the macroeconomic. We need to target there and be targeted in our job approaches because there are jobs. Because my family is in business and then they're in the logistics, and there's a huge shortage there. And the benefit if you train someone in the logistics field, they have the opportunity to migrate and can contribute further to Jamaica's development.
Okay. I hear you. I see you've thought this out, and I'm very happy to know that because, we're talking about people like yourself who have been involved in just so many optimist clubs and doing all the right things. And is it frustrating at all, Dr. Simpson, to know that you're doing all the right things that you can do, but sometimes, in all fairness, very little to show?
Yes, it can be frustrating, especially on an international forum where they have this. Well, they have the good side of Jamaica in terms of our tourism sunshine, but then you have this other issue that is dodging us, the crime. And all I want our people and your listeners to understand, Jamaica is one of the most beautiful countries, one of the most blessed countries in the entire world. We just need to be more grounded. We just need to control our emotions. We just need to get rid of this criminal mentality, this corruption, and just understand and try and uplift our country.
I agree with you, and I hear you, and I know that whatever is being said here will not deter you from the wonderful work that you do. Okay, I know that you were awarded the Prime Minister the Youth Award for Excellence. Congrats! That was 2018, right?
Yes, thank you.
And it was nation building category. What do you think, just for yourself here now? What would be your next move in terms of really making some kind of contribution to nation building?
For me, I'm passionate about the diplomatic corps. So I am hoping to transition from out of the medical field into diplomatic corps as I really love I love to travel and I love to represent Jamaica on an international scale. And so I am willing to do that groundwork where you get investors to come invest in our country, but not in terms of their persons benefiting. It must be at the forefront that the Jamaican citizens must make up the majority of their work field. So that's where I have my passion in the next couple of years, God's willing.
So you would actually give up being a medical doctor?
I love it. It's a very rewarding field. I don't have any complaints, but honestly, my passion is in development, national development, and international affairs.
You know, I'm happy about that word that you use, passion, because I think a lot of us, a lot of people are given a responsibility that they're not passionate about. And unfortunately, many of our politicians clearly don't have the kind of passion that we need. And if, you know, I would just say that if you find that you've been given a job to do and you don't have the passion to do it, leave it, for heaven's sake. Leave it alone. So
Yes, I agree.
yeah, man. I'm very happy to hear you use that word, passion, because we really need more of that. So with all of what you have to do now, Dr. JP, too, where you find time?
Honestly, it's just a lot of scheduling, So usually at the hospital, you get a rota like a couple weeks in advance for the entire month. So what I do, I plan around it. So I love to be scheduled and organized, and that has helped me to do my medical work as well as the whole volunteerism in terms of optimism. My foundation, I also work with the Governor General Office. They have a IBI program which is geared towards addressing the social ills in Jamaica. It's a voluntary program. And then, of course, the JP training was just the cake for all of that, all the hard work that I've been doing in the voluntary space.
Okay, wonderful. And you think that when you actually switch over to your real passion, you think you'd have any time for us?
Definitely. I will always make time to, give back, encourage others, inspire others.
Wonderful. I kind of put you on the spot this afternoon, and I know I did it, right? But I purposely did it because when I look at, the all that you've done, all that you've accomplished, I am suggesting that it is people like yourself who have been in the field for decades doing what you do, although you're such a young man, doing what you do. It's people like you that we have to be looking to know to fill some of these leadership positions.
Well, yes, that's true. A lot of persons have asked me if I'm interested in politics. The truth is, yes, there's an interest there, but it's not at the active forefront of my mind. It's not like I'm working to be like a prime minister or president or whatever it is. Wherever I am, whatever opportunities I'm given, I'll make the best of it to try and uplift others and contribute to national development.
Absolutely. Leadership comes in many ways. I just want to thank you so very much for for bearing with the questions and for actually practicing what you preach, because you've been suggesting from the interview start that you have to be calm, you have to be emotionally intelligent, and you were. So.
Yes, thank you. It was a pleasure being on air with you. And thanks for the opportunity. I just want to wish you all the best for the new year, as well as to your listeners.
Thank you so very much. Thank you very much for taking that time out. And continue to be a nation builder.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So, I really am enjoying these conversations, and we're going to be really holding these people out there in the limelight who are doing all of this. We're going to be holding them, responsible, not just what you're doing, but what do you see happening with what you're doing? Is it working? How passionate are you? That kind of question we're going to be asking, because we really, as we said before, need passionate leaders in all areas of this country as we try to fight all the various ills that plague us. We're going to take a break. We soon come. Greetings.
Greetings, Mama Kelly. How you doing?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Good to hear your voice.
You too. So today, you see,
Yes.
we have an interview, and I'm thinking to myself, a long time we're not getting some real conversations with each other because we always depend the time and we say we have interviewer come up now. So we don't have no interview this afternoon. So you can give us all the stories that you have and we can actually comment because we have some time.
Sounds very good to me. Sounds good.
You start.
Well, over the weekend, the weather was frigid and freezing. You know, we had single-digit temperatures. We had some snow Sunday night going into yesterday. We even had some snow and rain last night, which left, you know, some people without power in certain areas across the tri-state area. So hopefully, power has been restored to those homes and those families, and everybody is good now. And yesterday was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So, you know, that was a big celebration all across the United States for a lot of people, you know, and it was a day of service also for a lot of people across the United States. So big respects to Dr. King and everything that he did as an activist, a civil rights leader, an icon, a legend, a man who really set the tone, you know, and for the struggle of black people in America.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this, Beauregard. When power goes and it's so frigidly cold,
yes,
what you do? What people do when they're inside? How them deal with that?
Them have to just bungle up with clothes and, you know, grab for the blankets and, you know, things of that nature. What I do is to just try to stay warm is by putting on extra layers of clothes, you know, because I've been here where the power has been out before during, you know, winter storms and blackouts and things of that nature. So, you know, people basically just bungle up and do what them can do for stay warm.
It's like you're outside. So you just, you just dress like you're outside.
Yeah, well, actually here in New York, the power hasn't been out that long at any given period of time for, you know, people to for the house to get cold and freezing, you know, but usually the authorities, they normally work to restore power in a timely fashion. So, you know, it may be for a few hours, but not to where the house is going to get cold and freezing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Public hospitals accept only emergency cases as COVID-19 numbers grow. So this is what's happening here in Jamaica, and this is a release, and it's actually a release from the Health and Wellness Ministry. And today is the 18th, right? Well, it was released yesterday, Monday. And it says this comes as several of the island's public hospitals face increased pressure due to the growing number of confirmed and suspected COVID-19 cases. And there is also decreased staff coverage as many healthcare workers are out sick. And up to Sunday, there were 682 persons in hospital. But we not count with them. But that was the point, though. The point is that, you know, that the public hospitals are only accepting emergency as cases of COVID-19 grows. So
Emergency cases in only in COVID or an Omicron or just overall all emergencies?
Well, it only says let me see.
It sounds like they're prioritizing and it sounds like COVID is the main focus.
I'm not sure about that because if them only accepting emergency as COVID-19 numbers grow, perhaps not all COVID-19 cases will be considered emergency. However, it says here, let me see if I can answer that question based on this. Jamaica's public hospitals will be restricted to conducting emergency care services only. So I'm just thinking that emergency means no matter what it is. If it's not an emergency, then them now go treat it because, as you know, there are many COVID cases that would not be considered emergency.
Right.
So I guess that's what that means. But you know,
you know, sometimes some things are not really emergency. But you know, in your mind, you might, you know, you might take a breath and it not feel too good to you. You say, "Oh my God, I have COVID. I have to run to the emergency room." I know that feeling, you know, and a lot of people are going through that. Some people might make an extra 2 cough and them say, "Oh, I might have COVID."
Yeah, for
and
real.
So
that happens. And can I tell you something to Beauregard, as you say that? Because it happens to the best of us. And it just also shows how much of it is in your mind.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And speaking of Omicron, here in the New York City area, over the weekend, the cases actually went down dramatically. The margin went down by a huge margin, I should say, the cases. They're saying it went down from 47% and it's rising to, you know, more cases being dropped, and they're not seeing that many emergencies right now since the weekend.
Well, that is good. Well, that's wonderful. Crime, look here. You see, since the year start, the amount of murders we have had in Jamaica since the year start is frightening.
Yes, it is.
And although we try to stay away from these topics, there is no way that we can stay away for much longer. It is frightening. And, it's taking on some twists that I'm not quite sure of. We've been talking about the 9-year-old that was killed in St. James, and everybody is talking about that. However, children are being killed daily in this country. But can I just say that I now go take on this 1 year, because it is very clear that there is a lot that do meet the eye. In other words, some of these cases, this one particularly, is something that I will wait and see how the investigations proceed before we make any comment. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, because there has been an arrest, right? There has been an arrest, but, is not the kind of people that you would think going to be arrested is being arrested. So we're going to wait very patiently. It is obvious that the police are doing their job.
Can you say who has been arrested?
Vaughn, his stepfather was arrested, right? Yeah, I think so. I think so. But I don't want to say too much, because it's still under investigation. And you see, when I read this story, it just add up. So you see, add up, my brother.
That is the same sentiments that, I had, the same feelings I had when I heard about this story, when I tried to put it together to let it make sense in my head. And it still doesn't make sense in my head. I spoke about it here on my program last week. And a lot of people were saying that some information is missing from this case, according to the story that was put out.
Right.
A lot of people are saying that, it just doesn't seem like it is something that would happen, the way it played out. So I'm not sure, if allegedly this is what is said as to how the whole thing went down, but people are talking, like you said, people are talking here in the United States, people are talking on social media, people are speaking in Jamaica, and when news is out in the public, people are going to give their opinions, and a lot of people are saying that the story just didn't make any sense.
I don't. And one thing I know for sure is that the mother of the child is in protective custody. For whatever reason the police saw it fit that she should be in protective custody. And it even creates even more questions than actually answers. So that's one that we're not going to touch. But yeah, Beauregard, there are certain things you say where me not go talk about, with you, because me know say that the space where you in, it not right. Well, me's begging you, please don't ask me nothing else about this one. Please and thank you very much, sir.
Well, can I give you my take?
Yes, please.
I mean, I discussed it last week, and I had people, the listeners were calling in, and some of the people were just saying, looking at the story, they were questioning, why would two men, did you come to a full stop as to how the story was told, that you were slowed down for potholes and things of that nature, and you were taken out of your car. So people are asking, did you open your door? Did you come to a full stop and just get out the car? How were two men able to take you out of your vehicle? And
a vehicle like that?
Yes, which might have doors that close automatically once you start driving.
It don't which might have. It have.
Okay, so, people are really and truly questioning. And we have watched, here in America you get the chance, and even in Jamaica you get to watch these crime investigation movies where to a point you feel like you might be an investigator, a crime scene detective or something of that nature. You just start to ask questions when things just don't add up to you. And, people have a lot of questions about the whole case. Even saying, how come they didn't notice the young man in the car? Why would they let her go and go away with the child? And, people just are asking a whole bunch of questions.
I am one of those people asking a whole bunch of questions. Because as I said, before I even heard anybody else's opinion, before I even heard what the police had to say, there's a sixth sense that tells me that there is something missing. Put it that
Right.
way. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's that.
Serious world, crazy world.
Yeah. So what go on your side now again?
This morning there was a fire in the Bronx, a gas explosion at a New York City apartment building, which led to a partial collapse of the building and a major fire. Fire department officials said 4 civilians and 3 police officers were injured, and that the explosion and fire is about 3 miles from the deadly apartment fire that took place a few weeks ago that killed 17 people. Condolences to those families, and even yesterday there was a huge funeral service for some of the victims, including 5 of the children. On Sunday, I should say, was that funeral service. So, condolences to the family and to all the victims.
Okay. All right. Barbados opposition files motion to stop general elections. General elections in Barbados supposed to happen on must be Wednesday. Anyway, the High Court Judge Justice Cicely Chase is expected to hear later today an injunction filed for by a member of the minority opposition Barbados Sovereignty Party seeking to stop Wednesday's general election. And the application filed by Philip Catlin contends that more than 5,000 COVID patients are being denied their constitutional right to vote. So that's what's going on. But it seemed a little, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of didn't expect elections in Barbados at this point here, but there is. And Ms. Motley is actually saying that she's not going to be seeking re-election. So that's quite interesting. We're not quite sure if we're really sure why.
Right. Wasn't she the one who said there wouldn't be any elections anytime soon?
Did she?
I believe she had said that recently. I don't want to, but I believe so.
Okay.
But I've seen the story about this, and people were saying that she had said there wouldn't be any elections right now during these COVID times. So.
Okay. Well, if the injunction doesn't work, Wednesday is supposed to be the election. Your time.
Starting January 19th, you can now order free rapid COVID test kits through the United States government. There's a website called the covidtest.gov, and a total of 4 test kits can be ordered per household. So, a lot of people are going to be doing that. Most of the people that have been taking these tests, they have all been coming back positive, to tell you the truth.
That's very interesting too, because I've been hearing from a lot of people who took the vaccine up to when they traveled, they were negative. And wherever them travel to, I know them can't leave because even after the period of what you call it now, where them stay, where them that
quarantine.
The quarantine period is over. Them just keep testing positive for COVID-19.
It's crazy.
And as a result of which they can't leave because until they test negative, they can't leave. So this has been happening to quite a few people I know.
And even over in Israel, they're saying that a 4th COVID vaccine still does not stop the Omicron. That was a study done in Israel.
We don't need no study. No, Morgan. No, we just have to study the people that wrong we were taking it.
So they're up to their fourth vaccine.
Their 4th? Not booster?
Vaccine, they said.
Then why can't we take so much vaccine? I thought it was boosters.
Even in Japan, I saw a story. I heard a story about in Japan where they're saying that hamsters have COVID, and they're saying that it was found out in a pet shop in Japan that the hamsters all have. So they're planning on killing these hamsters and the rabbits and chinchillas. Some of those pets, they say if anybody bought a pet from that particular store, they have to return it, and the owners will be quarantined.
Oh my goodness!
So I don't know. Now they're saying animals have this thing.
We say, as we talk about animal, we're going to take a break. What is it? We say, Morgan, as we talk about animal, remember dog story for you there. Which no easy. So them have a little initiative where I take stray dog from Jamaica, from Montego Bay, go to Canada. Lord have mercy. We can show you a picture of the last one when named Pauline. We'll go home. But anyway, so we're going to take a break, and as soon as we come back, we're going to share that story with you.
All right, no problem.
Cool. Beauregard.
Yes, Mama Kelly.
Von, Von forward on something to you. Or WhatsApp. He forward it to you?
Yes, yes,
All
yes.
right. So, make we talk. No, watch I know, no? So, Montego Bay Animal Haven is a non-profit organization that's located in Montego Bay, and it spearheaded the rehoming of mongrels through a partnership with the Canadian organization Save Our Scruff Foundation. And it was they who shared this photo. But before we even get into the photo, because Pauline clean, but before we get into the photo, right, we just want to say enough respect to this foundation. Because you know, as well as I do, that when you're driving through Jamaica, the streets of Jamaica, you see dead dog and dead cat all over the streets. And although we're going, we find Pauline clothes very funny, at the end of the day, believe me when I tell you, it is very heart-rending to see the amount of stray dogs just dead so on the road. So you see the people them who started this, big up on yourself, big time. And a lot of people are asking why dog. Dog, somebody going to have to look out for dog. You see the people them who love dog, and them are going to look out for dog. The people them who prefer people, I don't look out for people. But you see the people them who love dog, big up on yourself. Because it is very, every time I pass one, I go into depression. Because it is just so wrong, man.
Yes, it is.
So,
it's very wrong.
It is very wrong. So, when the first set of dogs that I really mongrel them to, I don't like say, you understand, I flossy them there, flossy,
Yes.
right. So I don't like say, a Tarzan and all them something. A flossy. And you see, when we see the first set of dogs that went on the plane to Canada, the only word that would come out of my mouth is a bay. Yeah. Yeah. No. See oh God, see the picture there. No,
but
no.
Yeah. Paulina, enjoy life.
Pauline Bush. Hey.
Yeah, man.
Because so you know what sweet me? From no shoes to 4 shoes. Eh? You can imagine.
Paulina live good.
Yeah, man. And you know something too? Make them see a different culture. Because in other people's culture, just a Paulina just dog. She not no name. She just named dog. Right? And little boy no stop chose to stone half a sheep. Me never going to the bone thing. Because you know about bone dog. Because I hear that going down here. Little boy no stop bone dog from them a little boy before them even learn to talk, them learn for bone dog. But it's saddy.
Yes.
It is sad. No, for those who don't know when they say, want to find out from another media, because we can't go into that right at this moment here. But it's a part of, unfortunately, it's a part of our culture. And it really is so very sad to see how animals generally and dogs in particular are treated here in Jamaica.
True indeed. Give thanks to the Montego Bay Animal Haven for doing what they're doing.
Okay. All right. I don't know if people want to join the conversation. But if you want to join the conversation, just join the conversation. So we're going to give you the number and you can join the conversation. Because which one? This one here? The studio line. Come show me, Vaughn, please and thank you. Oh, I see it. Mm-hmm. The number is 676-4996. That's 876-676-4996. If you want to be part of the conversation. What you're saying now, Beauregard?
No, I was going to give the number here as well. 888-546-8742. That's 888-546-8742.
All right. So again, we might be laughing, but I am very happy to know that this is happening for our dogs. And let me tell you something, put up a picture again. Kevin say what go to. Then you mean? Them could have lock off like little more Pauline cannot nothing but cool. Watch Pauline now.
No, but a lot of people was upset the other day when they heard about these dogs going to Canada.
Why them upset?
Yeah, some people are saying, me can't get no visa and come here come pick up dogs.
I see him think Kevin, I say, what about me? What about no, you see, there's a valuable question here now with Vanna ask. Is Pauline vaccinated? Because if hamster get COVID, I don't know what could have happened to but anyway, if I anyway she go get COVID, I hear so. Remember me tell you that. Yeah, man. Yeah, so that I go on. Yeah, man. Your back and twang, you're Pauline. Me say me happy for you, see. No, it's not face there. Hey, but I want thing, you know, Pauline supposed to wonder, where take her? Because shit them your weather here, eh? And as for
the news.
As for the clothes, no, but you talk a while ago about people we cool or foreign. Yeah. Pauline no cold.
No, Pauline look well warm.
Yeah, man.
Well taken care of too.
Yeah, man. And you see, whoever get her and whoever get the other people them, dog, or the stray dog them, are foreign. Them people, they love them dog. Them love them. I don't know how the Pope think about this. I don't know. But yeah, we could talk to a caller from Westmoreland, Beauregard.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Good
Yeah,
afternoon.
Mama Elise.
Yes, my friend. What's your name?
Rossley from Westmoreland, man. Me I listen to the program and me I feel laugh about the dog, them, you know.
What you think?
You know that we did I work with some people from Brandon, them name Dilisa.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I care about some dog on the road. Them send them taxi. They have a taxi special to take up the dog. Them want a lad and carry them go to Union Street, one of the clinic.
Mm-hmm. And take care of
The
them.
lady love cat, she love dog. I can't fling off that dog, make Miss Rice here, Mr. Rye, man. Somebody and they laugh and say, boy, Chan, you a real foxy attack, mama.
But what you know, a whole heap of people gonna say, boy, if somebody get licked down, she not take them up. But the people them who love the me don't mean it to be funny, but she love dog. A dog she love.
Man.
So she'll go
A good thing, mama.
How you mean a good thing?
You know, alive.
Same way, sir.
Hey, because she man a take man life, just a take man life, and she care for the dog them life. So I love share show to the animal them, say they show other people say, yo, show love. Start to no man, because see them a show love dog them, you know.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, man. We have instinct and we have wisdom and understanding for ourselves.
Yeah, man. Same way, sir.
Yeah.
Same way.
Because you told me to the killer. I say, I pray and I say, then, you know, I don't see two that still, you know.
It is unfair the way how we deal with dogs. And let me tell you something about dogs. I remember I had a mongrel, you know, right? I love the mongrel so tail, Sally.
Yeah.
I love my dog, right? But a stray dog, I just, you know, rescue her, right?
Yeah.
And the first time me carry Sally go a vet, the vet, Sally vet laugh so till me have to ask him to stop, laugh. Because him never seen none of that in a film office yet. And me says, I'm my dog. I feel my dog. But anyway, he proceeded to tell me a lot of stories about how dogs can really save your life, how dogs can be a great companion. And it is true.
Man. And if you a dog go a bush and something do you and you can't come, your dog come home and make your people them know say something wrong because you always pass, but your dog go come in.
See him, sir.
So then can come look for you.
See him, way, sir. Thank you so very much. You're no man.
A dog start barking and back up, you call them for my grandfather. Anyway, call them and back them up and tell them come in a pen. They have to come in a pen.
See him, sir.
Back them up like a human being.
Yeah, man. Same way, sir.
Yeah, man. So I love your program still. A long time I listen still, you know.
Keep listening. Seeing and thanks for
man,
listening.
Go and bless up yourself, man, and the rest of the family them on the links, you know.
All right, you too. And thanks for
Yeah,
calling.
man. Man. Bless up to you, great. Yeah. All right, man.
All right, bless. Vaughn, any more calls? What you're saying, Beauregard?
You know, Mama Kelly, when I was living in Jamaica, we had a dog. His name was Excalibur. And he was poisoned.
Sally was poisoned.
Yes, the dog was poisoned because I lived in Patrick City at the time, and we lived near the hill right there, the football field. And you used to have some farmers in the area who are there, you know, animals and goats. People used to thief the goat them and them thing there. And sometimes dogs would you know, attack the goats in the hills. You would hear the dogs running after the goats in the hill, but no one knew whose dog was doing it in the community. So I guess, you know, the owner of the goats got upset, as according to what people were saying in the community, and, you know, poisoned the dog down in the community.
I hear you.
I don't mean to laugh, but
no, it's sad.
that was the what he did at the time. And, you know, we just wake up and see the dog, the last moments of the dog's life.
But sometimes thieves are the ones that kill the dogs because the dogs are looking out for watching the place at night. The thieves, is a deterrent. So a lot of time it's the thieves that poison these dogs. We have a call. Let's hear what this caller has to say. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, greetings. Your name?
Good afternoon, Mama. Susumba.
Susumba, what a nice name.
Yeah, man. Man, remember you give me the interview with the over next station, poet and thing on Jackie Roots, but while I hear you,
Okay, so what you have to say about the dog?
Yeah, well, one thing, I'm not a matter of the dog itself, but I look on the environment. I say, these dogs born in a warm climate, where them there now, them have a shift go to Canada. How would them going to adjust to that?
You know, see the picture?
No, I don't see
No,
it.
no, picture.
No, I don't talk, say, when them arrive, everything, but I say, when you live there, as a dog, and you run up and down, them dogs wearing a winter clothes like that,
Okay, you need to see the picture. You need to see the picture. You are talking you want me to describe her, Paulina, man?
Yeah.
Remember, say a 4 foot she have, See? So
but that type picture where she wear go up the door. Everybody when them go foreign them look pretty,
Look here. Let me tell you something. I know people like we when no business. You see, from the facts, them go play and fear for Pauline and the rest of the dog them for go up there. You really feel so them go ill treat them when them reach up there? Me say.
No, me not say that. Because I think about this, Mama Kelly. You see, when we live, yes, I go up there, because I love America. You can't say you're nice and happy, but you see, when you go up there, you still have to face the winter in your bone,
Yeah, I agree with that. But it better you face the winter in your bone more than if you spread out in a road in Jamaica. Because at least she cool and alive.
How can we think them with our farm down here too, where them stay upon?
You think them do what?
Have a retreat?
No, man. You know what them do? Them actually get these stray dogs. Them get these stray dogs, and you see the ones that them carry up. Them give them to give them to people, to as pets, So
but I hear a story, and it's funny. I never know that they retire racers down here in Jamaica. Because I hear about us that was winning race up in America, some big race, and I get to find out same die on a farm down in Jamaica.
Really?
Yeah, I see it yesterday in the news, and I read the story. And I said, it interests me.
Yeah.
So all right, dear man.
Bless up yourself.
The story still is fun, and like I said, we love dogs too, We see them here.
We don't hate
them, but, like I said, mongrel them are run around in Jamaica. Now, I say something still, because me see a video, and I don't know care if it's controversy, where people raise dog up in a deal see it,
Oh yeah, but you're not. You see the dog. That is true. But you're not gonna me think about that too. Me not hide and talk. Me think about that too. But me just say, if it's eat, you want to eat the dog. You're not gonna spend so much money on the dog.
That's true.
You understand? You just get rid of Pauline from down here and stew her and cook her. So
I tell you the truth. No, me not talk about that though. Me never feel them, but it is very interesting though. This story, me not gonna lie, it's very interesting.
I agree.
That child from Jamaica, it's very interesting.
I know she won. She had just the last one, but some more did go before, and them give them to home. A lot of people are foreign actually love animals and know how to, know how to.
To be honest, when I was in the prison, there was a dog training program, and I see, it was mostly, I think, golden retriever or something like that. And I said, I made them used to train the dog and walk around with them in the prison and give them the command and stuff. So, any dog can get reformed if him get in the right environment.
Same way, so. Thank you so very much for calling, and thank you very much for sharing.
And big up yourself too, yeah?
You
and
too.
Big up Mama Jackie Roots and thing on the retreat down at St Andrew and thing.
Mama Jackie, bless up yourself.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. What you were saying, Beauregard?
So, Mama Kelly, these dogs that they brought up, they were given to an organization that allows people to adopt them, or they were put in a pet shop or something like that?
Let me give you the story on that, because I think they told us exactly what happened there. It says here that according to its website, Montego Bay Animal Haven Okay, that's why it was founded with the increased demands on the organization due to the number of strays it was taking care of. The organization turned to overseas adoption. So that's what it is, to find the street dogs homes. So that's what it is. They're actually carrying up these dogs. People readily just, adopt these dogs, probably putting them in a shelter. People sometimes, when they want a dog, they go to a shelter instead of taking a new puppy. They actually go to a shelter and get the dog from the shelter.
We'll take a local break and then come back to this here so you get a chance.
All right, so that's basically that. We're going to take a time signal, but that's basically that. But it is just, yeah, we're going to take a break. All right, so we're going to take a break. But basically, that is really what has been happening to mongrel dogs, particularly in the Montego Bay area. And again, I want to say to this foundation organization, big up on yourself.
Definitely, big up.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're talking about dogs, and here is something interesting as before we join rejoin Beauregard. And this story actually came out since here, actually the 10th of January. And it says, I thought to be a lost dog successfully led New Hampshire State Police to the site of its owner's rollover crash. Both the vehicle's occupants were seriously hurt, but thanks to Tinsley's dogged efforts, they quickly received medical assistance once officers discovered the truck, which went off the road near a Vermont interstate junction. And it says here that the dog was trying to show them something, said the lieutenant of the New Hampshire State Police. But I was reading this about this dog that helped the lieutenant in New Hampshire to locate his owner, because the car had turned over and they couldn't find the people that were in the car, and they were trying to, the lieutenant and his team were trying to get the dog to come in the car, and the dog would not come in the car, but the dog was not running. So they said there's something that this dog wants to show us, and lo and behold, they followed the dog. And to their surprise, they saw a guardrail damaged and took a look, and there they saw in disbelief, the owner of the dogs in the car, hurt, damaged. And it was their dog that showed the lieutenant exactly where the car had rolled over. So that was one of the things that the vet that I took the dog to, that I said never stop laugh, but he was giving me a lot of dog stories or pet stories of animals that saved the lives of their masters.
Dogs are very, very smart, hence why they call dogs a man's best friend,
Absolutely.
Yeah, dogs are very, very smart, and we've grown up on these movies, watching dogs doing spectacular things. The Rin Tin Tin, the Lassie, from back in the days, and we always, as a child, you wanted a dog to perform some tricks, and to this day you have some grown men who just really and truly love dogs as their pets. They don't go nowhere without them. They have a lot of them. So big up to the foundation once again.
All right, you have a caller?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
yes,
let's go ahead.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, good afternoon. I would like to talk to Miss Kelly about the dog. I have a good story for her.
Go ahead, we're all listening.
Yes, Miss Kelly, when I was a little boy growing up, at 12-year-old, in Augustown, there was a man with some crossbreed dog, and I was passing the man gate as a little boy, 12-year-old, and said, "Little man, you want a dog?" I said, "Yes." Feed that puppy till it became big. That dog was named Tarzan, because we used to watch the TV show with Tarzan, and Tarzan loved animals.
Yeah.
So while growing that dog and taking care of that dog, one day now, police come in the community, and it was two of us, and the police hold on to the other guy, and then get away and run left the police. So I was the biggest one, so the police them now, I just run left them too, and I was running down with their gun at 12-year-old, and I was so fast because I used to love run, and I reached my gate and Mickey opened that latch and closed it back and went in my house. So the police now trying to come in the yard, and my dog named Tarzan, little most bite off the policeman, and the policeman said, "So the boy have a bad dog, you should have shot the boy,
Why?
And told him around to put on, A serious thing. Serious thing, and I still remember that.
So what happened eventually?
They end up, my sister then was inside, my big sister, and the policeman, my sister looked through the window when the police said that. I said, dirty boy, and that's when the people hit me, shot them and kill them. I said, I'm going to kill them.
What was it? Oh, she's telling the police, my friend. Oh my God.
Because you know wicked there was.
Yes. A foreign that go on. Where that go on?
And the police.
Jamaica? Oh, okay.
Town.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
In Augustown.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for that story. And we have so many other stories that I'm sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the story.
End up locking us, end up boxing my sister when we go out there, and she pulled the gate and cut her back. And my sister cut him back one.
No, your sister are bad people, man. No, man. Your sister are bad people.
She's a liar, man, a Leo. No, she's a teacher. She's a knowledgeable person. But you know what I feel?
Big up all Leo.
Police end up killing her son in the gully too, you know.
Wow.
Kill who for son? Your sister's son?
Kill her big son.
Boy, we're sorry to hear that, but we're glad for the story. We're glad to you share the story.
Not that many more, but
yeah, man. But give thanks for that one,
I
yeah.
love your voice, man.
Thank you very much.
Voice, right?
Thank you very much. So which part you were there? No. Oh, I think we got cut off, probably got cut off. But I'm sure there are so many other dog stories, and thank you so very much. Vaughn just said to me, can you imagine, we're there in the afternoon I talk about dog. But yeah.
Hey, Mama Kelly, when we were younger, you know, you'd have a house behind our house, and we always never want to walk around the road to get to the next street. And we used to try to cut through the neighbor them backyard to get to the street, but them have a dog over there. You know how much time the dog make me have to run up in on the mango tree?
Why is that pity I couldn't see all these things? Oh my goodness me.
One little mongrel dog too, you know, like.
Hey, mongrel
you know
dog,
what,
serious, you know?
The dog wouldn't let nobody go through the yard.
Yeah, man. I love mongrel.
Anybody would come near the fence, and we used to always look and peep for swear. And it's a barbed wire fence too, you know, so enough scratch me get my back and go through the bag. I run from the dog. Yeah, man.
I am particularly happy that it happening to mongrels. I remember when I got my mongrel, my father laughed so till, I don't think him could have laughed any louder. He laughed. But through my dog, I feed the dog, and you know how mongrel tail long already, right? So, but they have feed Sally I get fat, you know, so you know, so Sally bumper stays with the long tail back her. And my father always said, this dog, I don't realize that she's a mongrel, I'm going to tell her.
No, Mama, the caller that called, one of the callers that called earlier, he said, you know, when people are coming foreign how them dress. I have to share this story with you. And this one is about my older brother, you know, when he was coming to America. He came up in the winter time. And this man leave Jamaica in an Hawaiian short suit. So he might go foreign over there.
In a winter.
In a winter. And when him come out for the plane at JFK, in the bathroom, my father have to carry him. I make him put on some other clothes. I must say, I go foreign now, you know, so I throw on people Hawaiian suit and him trash.
You see what I say? No, here me don't like the producer to put up just one last look up.
Pauline.
Yeah, you know so. One shot. Just one last look at Pauline. Because yeah, you see, Pauline, people them know say Hawaiian suit nah go make it. All shop no, it's only like ears muffin. She didn't know, you know.
Yeah, muffin.
I tell you, nice man, purple vest and a 2 pants Pauline have and 2 pair of shoes. I wear to some people.
But Pauline look like she knows a picture I take, you know. The picture that even look candid, it look like she a pose and I say, I eat that, you ready?
But what you know, Pauline look like a coolish doing that, but she will overcome that. She have fear upon her body. Yeah. She will overcome that. Anyway.
All socks Pauline have.
But you see, like a name brand sneakers, do you know?
Look Jordan.
Me done. Beauregard, we done. We done for the afternoon. We done for the afternoon.
Oh, man.
God have mercy. Anyway, we give thanks again for the people them who do these things, and we're glad for know so your target mongrel.
Before we come out of the cold and come out of the ice, Mama Kelly, we have to big up the bobsled team.
Yes. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, man, on their remarkable achievement and, winning the North American Cup medal. So that's a very, very big achievement.
Absolutely.
Do they qualify are they on to the Olympics?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
They have qualified. Vaughn just sent me that story a while ago. Let me see if I can find it. Quick. Yes, Jamaican bobsled team heading to Beijing Olympics. So nice. they did qualify. Yes. That's a great story. So, bless up yourself, God. I tell you that we're going to go deep in our conversation today.
I loved it.
I know you would. and our listeners loved it too. And we just want to say enough respect to your listeners and thanks for participating. And that caller from your side with the story. Thank you very much for sharing your story.
Thank you very much to Mama Kelly and to the listeners in Jamaica. Bless up on yourselves and stay safe until Thursday.
Right.
We'll speak again, Mama Kelly.
Stay warm.
All right, you too.
Okay, so that's it.